I'm actually really scared. I need to finish this book. Autumn has started. Hi, welcome to the vlog. It's the first week of September and you're going to follow me for 1 week as I finish 3 books. 2 of them are like quite spooky. I'm going to take you with me for a day in my life in publishing for like 2 days. I'm going to take you to my favourite cafe, we're going to go book shopping, we're going to buy some decor, we're going to read the book, I'm going to keep you updated. I hope you're having a wonderful start to autumn and I hope you enjoy this vlog. So it's officially the first day of autumn today. It's gloomy, it's rainy, it's chilly today. It's jumper weather. I was wearing a jumper today. I was working from home today, it's Monday, but I needed to get outside. Me and my sister went to Flying Tiger because we love Flying Tiger. Like, I have a problem. Flying Tiger is literally like the second I step in there, I lose my mind. Like, I black out and then I walk out and there's like a million things in my hand. So this time I told myself I was only going to look, like just browsing, but obviously that is not the case. So I thought I'd do a little first haul of autumn. First of all, how cute is this? I'm obsessed with this bag. I didn't want to get a tote bag because I have a tote bag problem. I have a lot of problems. Anyway, I'm going to do a haul. Got some autumn goodies. Sorry, the lighting in here is not great. I'll do a little like clip of it, but it's like 100 books reading journal. It has little bits of information in there. I've never had a reading journal before, so this is going to be a first. It says book or audiobook, and then title, author, favourite character, when you started reading it, when you finished, genre, when it was first published, who recommended it. I really want to keep a track of my reading this year. I think one of the reasons I wanted to start booktube again was I've never been more on top of my reading than when I have booktube, because it's like accountability basically. You have to remember the books you read and keep track of them because you're talking about them. And I'll start it now. Like, I'm not going to go back and do like the start of the year. I'm going to start it from autumn and then just write the date of like when I started it. But how cute is this? I'm literally obsessed. So yeah, that's the first item. When I walked into Flying Tiger, I told my sister that I was only going to get things I desperately needed, and this one, I needed it. I needed it bad. I really wanted this. I wanted this last year. It's so cute and it's so soft. And I feel like I can put this on my bed and just like rest my neck on it. And then the next thing I got, a little punch needle kit. I actually tried to start punch needling last year in the winter. I always try to pick up like a cozy hobby. I'm not really good at a lot of things. I'm not super crafty. I don't mind being bad at stuff. So I picked up crocheting, was it, I think the year before last year, and then this year I really wanted to do punch needling. I think I paired the needle with the wrong string, yarn size or something. I could not figure it out and it was really frustrating, and I was like, I'm gonna come back to it next winter. So I'm coming back to it. That is my autumn non-book haul. And then I wanted to talk about the last book I read, my current read, and the book I'm going to read next. The last book I read was The River Has Roots by Amal El-Muhtar. A couple years ago I read This Is How You Lose the Time War and I love it. It's basically this sci-fi book that's like a romance and it's like enemies to lovers, but it's also like really, really beautifully poetic and really confusing, to be honest. It was beautifully written and I really, really loved it. There's literally a novella. It's like 100 pages long. It's basically a twist on the Two Sisters ballad, which is like, I had to Google this. It's basically like the story about these two sisters. Apparently they hate each other because of like sexual jealousy or something crazy, and then the other one tries to like kill the other one, and it's, I don't know, it's really like dark and twisted. But Amal has a really beautiful relationship with her sister, so she wanted to do her own take on it, and it's a lot closer to my experience having sisters. I mean, sometimes we do try to kill each other. This is like so beautiful, like the relationship between these two sisters. Similar to her previous book, this book is really like poetic and confusing and like you're just along for the ride and it just feels like a fairy tale. This whole book feels like a fairy tale. I buddy read this with Rachel from Let Me in the Library and she really, really loved it as well. So anyway, this was beautiful. I highly recommend it. And then the book that I'm currently reading is For Eid's in the Funeral. It's just a fun young YA romance where these two people, they used to be friends, like they're childhood friends, but something happened and you don't know what happened between them, but they're no longer friends. A librarian dies and he ends up coming back to his hometown for a funeral, and then they are forced to like work together. I'm almost halfway and we still don't know what exactly happened between them, but they're really like, they have chemistry but they don't like each other right now, and it's great. I'm really enjoying it. For the duration of this vlog I'm gonna keep track of how many pages a day that I read, which is going to be a bit embarrassing because I genuinely am such a slow reader. So if you are a slow reader, you can feel a bit better about yourself. Hello, I am back from work. So today is the 2nd day of September and I went to the office today and I did a lot of random stuff. I had to do a mailing, there was a giveaway winner that I had to send some books to. I had a meeting, a bunch of things, but now I have this meetings with the US, so it has to be like at the end of the day, and I'd rather do it here because it ends at 6, so I'd rather do it from home. And I wanted to give you a little reading update. Yesterday the only reading I did was 16 pages, like when I was in bed, like falling asleep. I don't know if anyone else does this, but when I'm in bed I'll literally like turn off the lights, like ready to sleep, but then I'll have my Kindle on like night mode, and then I'll be reading like this without my glasses on as well, so you know it's like this close to my face. So I literally only read 16 pages yesterday, which not great, not a great start. We will fix things today. Now my plan is I'm gonna go make myself a matcha because I'm craving it, and get some work done before my 5 o'clock meeting, and then once I'm done with work I want to clean my whole room and get it ready for autumn. I wanted to do that yesterday, but I was just way too tired, so today's the day. Autumn starts yesterday, but today. Spot the difference. We're on the 3rd day of September, and I thought I'd give you a little reading update for yesterday. So yesterday I actually read over 100 pages. Woo, woo. I made note of it. So I listened to my audiobook for 4 Eids and a funeral, and I got to like 70%, so that's about 93 pages, which is great. And my thought so far is I'm really enjoying it. I wasn't fully convinced I was gonna love this. Like, I love the cover. I don't know, I was just skeptical. I always am skeptical when it comes to romance, but I really am enjoying it. I feel like I really like am buying their chemistry. It's so interesting because Farida is Nigerian, I want to say. She's black. The other author is brown, and their two perspectives of being Muslim from two different races is very different. I assumed that Farida wrote the female main character and the other author wrote the brown guy, so I feel like they're both contributing such a unique perspective, especially the black girl and being a black Muslim, and like the way people often doubt whether you're Muslim or not, but when you're brown or Arab it's kind of like assumed. So I just feel like that's such an interesting perspective, and those two authors are clearly like working really well together, so I'm really enjoying it so far. And then my other update is, I haven't even spoken about this book, but I started it yesterday, and it's called City of Ghosts by V.E. Schwab, and this is literally the most random place I could have started for V.E. Schwab. Like, why would I start here? But my friend, I told her to read Six of Crows, and she told me to read this book, and it's like, I'm trying to get into the autumn vibes, and what's more autumny than ghosts? Yesterday I read 46 pages. My initial thoughts are there isn't much going on here. I think it's a middle grade fantasy book, so I'm not going to be too harsh. Basically, I would have really enjoyed this if I was younger, but I'm not. Basically, this girl has this ability to see ghosts. She almost dies. I love the premise. It's like spooky and fun. The main girl almost dies in a car accident, and when she nearly dies, she basically gains the ability to cross the veil, which means that she can like go into this alternate universe. She can essentially like see ghosts, and she was saved by a ghost, and the guy who saved her is her best friend, and she can only speak and communicate to him, but the other ghosts, she can kind of see them, but they can't see her, and she can basically see how someone died and blah blah blah. So anyway, it's really cool, and basically her and her family moved to Edinburgh in Scotland because both her mum and dad write ghost books, and it's basically fun, creepy atmosphere. Like, I'm really enjoying the atmosphere, and I feel like it's the right vibe for me right now, but I'm not really like invested in the character. I read for an hour earlier, and I read another 62 pages. 62 pages in an hour. That is crazy for me, but I assume it's because it's so young and easy to read, so I'm not going to take too much credit, but it's getting a bit more interesting, and yeah, I'm just liking the vibes. I'm here for the vibes, and hopefully maybe if I read for like 2 hours today, I think I can finish it, but we'll see. Hello. I'm borrowing this mic from work, so I thought I'd use it. Anyway, hi. It is day 4. Oh, I love this little mic. Isn't it so cute? Okay, let me not get distracted. Okay, I thought I'd recap what I've been up to today and where I'm at with my reading, and I'll roll some b-roll of today whilst I'm yapping. So I went to the office today, and I picked up a bagel and my matcha on the way to work. I did a little detour and grabbed myself a little bagel. I get these salt bagels from Kuro Bagel or from It's Bagel, but Kuro Bagel does a really good salt bagel, but their bagels are a little bit hard, but it's yummy because I do the chicken salad, and the chicken salad is halal. And then I go and get myself a little matcha, took the train, got into work, and it was a really busy day, and I'm working on some really exciting stuff, but it's just been really busy. I did manage to finish my audiobook today, so I can give a full review of 4 Eids and a Funeral. I really enjoyed it. It was really nice. I think there was a quite a big plot twist I wasn't expecting for the reason why the two characters don't like each other. So essentially, these two characters who grew up together stopped speaking just before the main guy went to university or went to private school. Um, and then she's pissed at him because he stopped speaking to her. He's pissed at her because she stopped speaking to him. And you're like, okay, why are these two even beefing? But they have good chemistry. So I was like, I was hooked. And then there's this big like plot twist. It explores grief. It explores really interesting like dynamics of like different races within the Muslim community. So I thought it was really interesting and well done. I think the two authors worked really well together, and I just overall I enjoyed it. It was really nice. It was cute. And last night, actually, I pulled some clips from last night or yesterday. I read about 60 pages of City of Ghosts, and I'm I have mixed, well, not mixed feelings. I think I just feel very okay about this book. I am enjoying the vibes of it. It's like filled with ghosts. Her best friend, as I said, was a ghost. She's actually made another friend who has the same abilities as her, and she keeps going back and forth between the veil. I think I'm starting to realize what my main problem with this, and I think is that the main character is just a little bit bland. It just feels like I don't know anything about her, and I don't know what her personality is. It's just bland. That's all this book is, and I feel like I don't think the problem is that it reads young as it should. But I am enjoying the vibes. Like I think if I read this in any other time of year, I think I would have DNF'd it. Hopefully, I can finish it maybe by tomorrow. I think I want to end the vlog maybe on the weekend and like maybe start another book, but we'll see. I'm being ambitious. It's also my sister's birthday tomorrow, so I think I'm going to be very busy in the next few days with birthday activities. So I'll see if I can finish this book and maybe start one more book. Hello, hi, I'm back with another update. The 5th day of the month, September 5th, which means that this vlog has been going on for 5 days, and I wanted to give you guys a reading update. Sorry, I'm whispering. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning and everyone's sleeping, so this is what I'm going to have to do. Also, how cute is this? It's just sitting here like, do I not look so cozy? So me and my sisters just came back from Atom, which is this cafe that opens like really late, and we got ourselves a little matcha and some dessert because it's my sister's birthday. So yeah, that was really fun. I'm literally going to be whispering this whole clip, and I hope that's cozy. So last night I finished City of Bones. I was literally in bed like half falling asleep. I got to the end of it, and it was a solid 3 stars for me. It was nothing special. I definitely won't be continuing the series, but it was a nice like easy autumn book to get me into the vibe of spooky season. Okay, and then I wanted to let you guys know the next book I'm going to be reading is The Silent Patient. I want to end the vlog like maybe tomorrow, so I don't think I'm going to get to the end of this, but I'm going to give it a solid go. I'm actually such a wuss. I never ever read the thrillers, but my friends keep telling me to read this, and obviously this is really popular. I don't know guys, but I have a feeling that I could potentially become a thriller girl. Like fantasy books are stressful and thriller books are stressful, and that seems to be the crossover. So yeah, I'm gonna start this, and then I'll see how much of this I actually read in this vlog. But in general, I wanted to give you guys a bit of an update of what this year has been like reading wise for me. I'm not gonna lie, I have not read a lot of books. Like I've read like maybe 1 book a month for most of this month. I think August was the only month I read like 3 books in August. I want to talk a bit about like publishing and how that affects my reading, and I genuinely have never read less books than when I started publishing. Like before publishing, when I was just doing booktube, was the most books I've ever read, and then I went into publishing and then it just went downhill. And for me, like I'm not an editorial, so that's a completely different experience, I'm sure, but I just feel like especially this year I've been reading a lot of workbooks, and with the way publishing works, there is a lot of like manuscripts I need to read, not fully because I'm not editorial again. It's more like other departments like marketing, publicity, we kind of feed it in. So like a book will come around on submission that an editor's really excited about, and they'll circulate it within like the other departments, and then we'll read them, not the entire thing, but like enough to have an opinion, and then like we feed it back to editorial and let them know what we think. So a lot of times I'm just reading a lot of like, I'm reading like 20% of like multiple books, and it just kind of gets you into this mood of like starting and dropping books. And then it means when I'm starting like books outside of work, I'm just like starting them and dropping them, and it's just not a good habit. I've gotten into a really bad habit, and there's no accountability, because when I was on booktube I felt like I knew that I wanted to talk about the books I was reading, so I wanted to finish the books and be able to talk about it, you know. But now it's like, because I haven't been like doing booktube and no one's really been checking on me like that, I will just start a book, and in my mind like I won't even think about it, and then I'll be like, oh wait, I didn't even finish that book, and I started another one. So it's gotten me I'm about 50 pages of the way through, and it's interesting. Basically, the concept is right at the beginning of this book, this woman who's married to this guy shoots her husband in the face 5 times and kills him. You don't know why, and you don't know what caused it, why it happened. And ever since she did that, she stopped speaking, and she wouldn't even like testify or like plead guilty or any. She didn't say anything like the entire time. Hi, I'm gonna be doing ASMR again because it's almost midnight. Anyway, so it's later in the same day as the last clip that you saw. Straight after the last clip, my sisters went out to an aquarium for my sister's birthday. I got a lot of reading done on the train, on the way there and on the way back, because I can't stop reading this. And now I'm about halfway, maybe just over halfway. Let's start with the negative. The psychology. Guys, the psychology in this is really bothering me. I don't know if the guy is just a terrible psychotherapist or the author just didn't do a lot of research. It just is giving like he's making up as he goes along, because it's actually so silly. You don't have to have done a psychology degree to realise that this is like BS. It's like, let me give you an example, right? So basically this therapist, he's a psychotherapist, and he is working in a psychiatric ward, and this is a random patient that he is not even his patient. Yeah, this is like the first conversation they've ever had, and this is what he says about her. Oh, in his head, this is what he's thinking during this one conversation that they've had. He says, Elif made you feel repulsion and hatred. That was her pathology. That was how her mother had made her feel as a small child, hateful and repulsive. So Elif unconsciously provoked you to hate her, and mostly she succeeded. And where did you get that information from, sir? His psychology is giving like Freud, and actually it is giving Freud, because every part starts with a quote from Freud. Does that not tell you all that you need to know? Low-key, I feel like the author might have just researched some like Freudian psychology and thought, yeah, that'll do the job. And also, this guy is terrible. He's like, okay, obviously he's like an unlikable main character and he's really suspicious, but on top of that, I just don't think he's good at his job. So the fact that he's actually getting information out of people and like getting people to like break, it just doesn't make sense, because he's terrible. He's just not very good. Other than that, I feel like this is very readable. I just can't stop reading it, guys. I've read like 150 pages today, and these chapters are like really short, but 150 pages for me is crazy. Just want to keep reading and like find out what happens. So yeah, it's currently almost, I think it might be midnight. I'm not sleeping anytime soon. I need to finish this book. If you told me at the start of this vlog that I was going to be on day 7 of filming and almost finished my 3rd read of the week, I would not believe you. Just for context, last month, August, I read 3 books, and that was my best reading month of the year. So yeah, this has been the most productive reading week of the year. Anyway, I've got about 70 pages left of the book, and I'm going to try and finish it in one sitting. I'm going to see if I'm able to finish this whole book without my family interrupting me, which is almost impossible. Where is that silly little book? Yeah, I finished this. I think it's safe to say I'm not happy with the ending of this book. Oh god, that was really frustrating. Basically, this book used a plot device that I think was really silly and like lacked finesse. I'm actually so enraged. I literally have ranted about this book since you last saw me like 20 minutes ago to not 1, not 2, but 3 of my sisters, 2 of which had never read this book. The whole point of a thriller, again, this is literally the first thriller I've ever read. I think I read one when I was a kid, but I don't really remember. The main point of a thriller is like the plot twist, right? Like the whole thing is leading up to this big twist at the end, and it has to be worth it, and it has to be like something that makes sense, which it did, because I guessed the twist before it happened, but it wasn't satisfying. The motivations didn't really make sense. Like, I feel like the author was focusing on like a big like wow reveal, and it just fell kind of flat for me. I'm gonna go into some spoilers because I feel like there's actually no way of me expressing how frustrated I am with this book without saying some spoilers. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers, skip to when I put this book down. Basically, the whole plot of this book was this guy is obsessed with this girl who killed her husband at the beginning of this book, and 6 years later he ends up working at the psychiatric ward that she is at, and his whole thing is, I want to help her, I want to be the person who makes her talk, right? So he goes out of his way to go find this woman so that she talks, right? But at the same time you're getting flashbacks to well, you don't know it's flashbacks, right? You think it's happening in present time. Again, I guessed this before they said it. His wife cheats on him with this man, and this man is married to the woman, and this man ends up being the one who's killed at the beginning of this book, right? And essentially he sets the wife and husband against each other, and the wife, who's in this psychiatric ward, ends up killing her husband. So once I finish this book, right, you realise that the reason why he goes to find this woman is because he feels bad that he didn't intend to set them against each other to the point where she ends up killing him, so he feels guilty, so he wants to be the person who like mends her. But then when she ends up speaking, when he ends up coaxing the information out of her and she ends up finally speaking, right at the end of the book he ends up trying to kill her because she remembers he's the person who did all of this. The idea of him going to find her, going out of his way 6 years later to go find her just because he feels a bit guilty and he wants to be the person who makes her talk and then kill her for talking, makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. And on top of that, the whole unreliable narrative thing, like he literally has been lying to us this whole entire book, and like I don't think that was particularly clever. Like, you're literally just lying to us. Like, I don't understand. Him lying to us doesn't make sense. Like, guys, I'm just so frustrated. This book was not worth it, okay? My first thriller and it's garbage. Anyway, I'm gonna put this book down. This is a spoiler-free zone now, and we have reached the end of the vlog finally. I can't believe I made it 7 days. I did not expect this vlog to be this long, but we had a good time, guys. We finished 3 entire books. A quick recap, we read 4 Eids and a Funeral, which was lovely. It was really cute. It's a YA romance and it was a fun time, and I gave it 4 stars. And then I read City of Ghosts at the same time. I was reading that on my Kindle and I thought it was cute, like ghost spooky vibes. Like, I felt like it was the vibe that I needed for this vlog and to get me into autumn, but I don't think I'm going to continue with the series, but it's a solid 3 stars. And then this book, right now I feel like I need to sit with it a little bit and like decide what I'm going to rate it, because I'm just so frustrated and I just feel like clearly me binging this book does not make a good book. Me reading a book fast clearly does not equate to a book being good. I think I'm going to rate this maybe like a 2.5 stars. And yeah, thank you so much for following along with this chaos of a week. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you made it this far, please comment a candle emoji, candle cozy vibes, which is ironic because I have not lit a candle this entire vlog, but it smells you can smell it, right? It smells so strong that I just haven't bothered lighting it. I literally just keep putting it next to me while I read for the cozy vibes and the smell. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.